Welcome back, everybody, to Grand Tactician, the Civil War. I'm Grumpy Grandpa Gaming, and this is episode 11 of our Union Summer 61 campaign in version 1.11 using the A.O.M Mod. Now, in the last episode, it was a quiet summer. We got through July and August with nothing happening outside of a few naval engagements and a skirmish over here at outside of Blount's. It was outside of Tallahassee, but the battle was Blountstown Ferry, where we laid low one of the corps, Atchinson's corps. So besides that, we have the siege ongoing here at Fort Pike, which should be over in a few days, which will allow me, because it is now September, we're going to be moving into the winter season, so I need to start getting these corps in position to winter. As we saw a few episodes ago, trying to move over to winter they've made a lot of changes, and it is next to impossible to move your troops over to winter now. Just moving them a few miles brings their readiness straight down to the dirt. So as soon as we take Fort Pike, we're moving straight into New Orleans as quickly as we can. And that is where 10th Corps will winter, is in New Orleans. 11th Corps is forming up. The 1st Division will be arriving in 9 days, I believe. 8 days it'll be here. The one battery will be here in 1 day. And the rest of the Corps looks like it will be arriving in another 10 days after that. Yep. So 1 division in 8 days, everything else 10 to 11 days after that. So over here in Florida, which has turned into a quagmire of my own making, because I thought I'd be able to easily grab it up with just 2nd Corps, is swallowed up 1st Army when they should be over here supporting operations moving into New Orleans. I now have plans to winter them here in Florida. I'm moving 2nd Corps up into Jacksonville. 1st Army headquarters at Lake City, and I'm moving 1st Corps over there also to have both Corps underneath 1st Army's aegis. There is a Rebel Corps still here in Florida. They are down south somewhere, but they are not a problem for right now, just because they are smaller than the forces that I do have. It's just having the troops ready to fight them. 2nd Corps has no ammunition. Part of the reason I am moving them to Jacksonville is there's some ammunition available at the port here. Not a lot, but there is some available. And 1st Corps does have ammunition, but don't know how long it'll last, because somehow ammunition gets used up. I guess you could say from training and hunting and stuff like that, but more gets used up while they're marching around than really should be getting used up. Now up here, back in Western Virginia, we have all these corps moving on wheeling again, so we got 5th wheeling coming up on us. Now I've sent orders for 4th Corps to move into a defensive stance in order to give time for 8th Corps to come up into a closer supporting distance. Hopefully when these corps arrive, it'll start a siege that 8th Corps can join in on, and then we can turn it into a battle instead of having to wait 29-30 hours for him to arrive. But there are still more corps on the way. I don't know if they will initiate immediately, as there are 3 more corps coming. The corps over here are not too strong. Army of Alabama is 9,500 men. Polk's at 11. There's a few more cards there. Army of Alabama, 9,500. Polk's 11. Porter's Corps is at 11. Another card there is not letting me get a chunk of. Army of the Peninsula is 1,700, so not as many troops as the last battle, unless they wait for the arrival of these 3 corps. Gist's Corps is bringing another 15,000 men. Beauregard's Corps is bringing another 32,000 and 150 guns. And Department of Norfolk's bringing another 3,000 men and 25 guns. Now, as these corps have been moving past, I have ordered 6th Corps, because they are not stopping to retake Winchester for some reason. So I have ordered 6th Corps back down into Winchester. So hopefully, if or we do win this battle and they retreat out towards Grafton, we can grab up any retreating corps that come through Winchester, or at least force them south into the mountains where they'll be stuck for the winter, and they can start taking some heavy attrition casualties. And for everything else, I was thinking about starting a limited operation, but like I said, it is September. We're moving into the winter season, so these corps will sit steady for right now, and then starting next spring, as part of moving up the Mississippi River, I'm going to start moving Grant's 4th U.S. Army down to engage the Army of West Tennessee, which is only 8,500 men. And I'm going to be moving 5th Army and the 3rd Corps down to Carrollton and hopefully draw out the Indian Army for a fight. There's only 8,500 men in that corps, so I highly doubt they will fight us. 3rd Corps alone is 34,672 men. So this corps will not fight us. They may try something, I don't know, but I highly doubt it. The rebels, much like myself, have all of their strength right now down. You got these 2 corps stuck on the island here, or I hope they remain. I don't know if my blockading fleet's going to keep them trapped there or not, because I can't cross to fight them, so I'm hoping they can't cross back over themselves because of the blockading fleet, but I don't know. And then the rest of their strength is coming into Western Virginia again. So, I'll pause this here. I'll hit play, and I'll probably be back with 5th Wheeling. So, looks like this fight might be bigger than I thought, since on top of Beauregard's corps of 32,000 men from the Army of Northern Virginia, you also got Bragg's corps with another 33,000 men arriving. This is going to be an interesting fight, I think. So, taking them a while to move. These corps all here actually did decide to wait for the arrival of these corps, or at least for them to catch up before they started moving again. So 8th Corps is still trying to move closer, trying to get them in a little closer to reduce their arrival time. So let's see what happens. Did that one brigade come back up to strength? Which one was it that surrendered? West Virginia Brigade. Alright, they're still below 1,000, but they were at 100 and something. So they've come back up into strength over the last month. Not high strength, but they've come back up. Speed this along. This is going to be a big one. Oh, yeah. Ooh. So this time Beauregard's in charge, and he is bringing 98,877 infantry, 15,260 cavalry, 322 guns, to my 50,774 infantry, 6,100 cavalry, and 227 guns. So he's bringing Department of Norfolk with 3,000 men, 24 guns, Gist's Corps with 15,168 men and 23 guns. It'll be here in 4 hours, but when we go to the map, they might actually be on the map already. Bragg's Corps with 32,212 men and 31 guns. Beauregard's Corps with 32,164 men and 151 guns. Porter's Corps with 11,238 men and 14 guns. Polk's Corps with 11,212 men and 21 guns. Army of the Peninsula, which we've basically wiped out, it's like 1 brigade and 12 guns. Army of Alabama with another 9,700 men and 10 guns. And Army of the Shenandoah with another 1,200 men and 26 guns. So Army of Shenandoah, Army of the Peninsula, Army of Alabama, we've basically wiped those units out. I'm surprised they haven't transferred the brigades out of them into other commands yet. But this is going to be a big one. I honestly don't even know if I've ever actually gotten a battle this size before, in all the years I've been playing this game. So, I mean, obviously we're taking this. We are definitely taking this. I don't know why. 8th Corps is right down the road, so I don't know why they're 31 hours away. That doesn't make sense. They shouldn't be 31 hours away. But I think we'll be fine until they arrive. So I'll be back after the load screen. Welcome to the Battle of Fifth Wheeling. And lordy, this is going to be a big one. So putting the numbers together, the rebels have 118,000 men to my 60,304. So we are facing 3-to-1 odds on this map. And we are on the Red Hills map. And I'd be happier. My defense point is Cramps Hill right here. I'd be happy if it was back here on the Red Hills. So I could set my artillery up high, you know. But the objective's down forward of Red Hill. I'm not a fan of that. Because I'm losing a lot of open terrain to fire on. I can still use it to my advantage. So they gave me a very large deployment area here. I basically have the entirety of the map. And the rebels thus far only have this entry point. So everybody is either on the field or going to be arriving on the field in the first hour from the rebels. I'm going to be heavily outnumbered. For 34 hours. So I don't even know if I'll be able to make it through the whole day. It's 12 o'clock now. So they probably have until September. So they probably have until 7 or 8 p.m. to push me away, which is plenty of time. But then they might come at me piecemeal off the start, which would be a large help. Though I'd still have to wait most of day 2 for the other corps to arrive. So I'm thinking right now, I'm just going to try to do as much damage as I possibly can. And then withdraw off the field before they can consolidate on day 2 and finish the job. I got plenty of artillery in this corps. It's just not going to be able to effectively utilize it. And these guys have all been upgraded to 10-pound parrots. So they got range that I'm not going to be able to effectively utilize. So if I'm going to use this road here and this road here. So unless they bottleneck themselves again. And they can also come around here on this flank. Though I think the AI will more than likely use strictly these 2 roads. Last wheeling when they're coming around on my flanks, I think that just had to do with pathing issues and not being planned. Though it did mess me up a little bit. So I'm thinking send my artillery division back here. Anchoring my left on Soggy Bottom and extending it down the Red Creek. As far back from the wood line as possible, since I want to be able to use my artillery as much as possible for the morale effect. I don't know if I'll be able to or not. So I'm going to play around with some defensive arrangements, and then I will be back with dispositions. Alright, I got something of a defensive arrangement here. I'm not crazy about, but the best I can do under the circumstances, as I do not have enough troops until the other corps arrives to cover the frontage. So, from left to right, I got the cavalry sitting out here on this hill, overwatching this road here, in case the rebels decide to make a right here at the Shepherd Farm and come down this path here. Cavalry's just overwatching this area. They can fall back on the fence line as necessary as I collapse the wings of my infantry corps around on the Red Hill. From right to left, I have 2nd Division, 3rd Division, 4th Division, and 1st Division. I did not have enough points to build everybody parapets. I did cover good stretch of my front. Engineers are going to finish building out some power pits over here or some breastworks right here. My other problem is Flurry Road here. They could come up this way, see our works, and decide to make the left here and try to move around. Though I do have siding on Flurry Road from these positions, so if they do swing around, I can also start collapsing these two divisions around here to this fence line. And they'll also have the heights of the hills for their advantage. So my hope is that they try to force feed themselves down these two roads, but if they do attempt to flank out, I may have issues. I don't know if I'll be able to hold out till the other corps arrives, but we will try. So I'm going to hit play, and hopefully these guys take too long to get to me and we lose daylight before they make contact, but we'll see. I'll be back. So it's 1400. Looks like they're shoving most of their cavalry down this center road here, and they are getting chewed up by my artillery. So I do have these two batteries of Napoleon facing right down the road here. So I almost didn't see those guys. For as large as that force is, I almost didn't see them coming because I was over here looking at the engineers. But once again, everybody in this army is rifle armed, so it should not be an issue. And that's a detachment coming forward. Boys firing. What the hell? They're right in front of you. Shoot them. The hell? Really? Should have wiped out that detachment. These guys on counter battery, yeah. Fire at will. Need you guys firing too. Looks like they are looking for my flanks right now. So, I think we might have wounded Lee at the last battle, since he's not in charge this time, because he was the commander of the Army of Alabama and commanded the last two battles here. But we saw him riding in front of our rifle lines in the last battle, so we might have removed him from the fight for a little while. Look at that canister shot. Just stay there and take a few more canister rounds, or just get this battery upgrade when the infantry arrives. Same with you boys. These guys are already level 3 on close support. Just stay there and keep taking hits. We got them knocked down by 200. If not more. These guys get their orders yet? Oh, what are you guys doing on this flank? You guys need to be in the center. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, come on. Stop that. Hitting the damn alt button. There we go. Oof. That could have been disastrous. Engineers, you're done. All right, let's bring you up to the center as a reserve. There goes the cavalry. They only took 250 casualties. At least they didn't shoot up my artillery. They took 350. Took 92 casualties in the exchange to their 350, and that puts me at 0.3% of my current force and 0.4% of theirs. There we go. Now the other division's fired. I think the cavalry might have come up unsupported. Yep, there's a re-arriving, so I put the division back on counter battery. They have a lot of guns coming onto the field, so I need to make sure the artillery division's on counter battery. I don't hear anybody else. Where are they? A lot of movement back here. Alright. Just all the way back here. So it's just the cavalry so far. Department of Norfolk. Yeah, it's just the Department of Norfolk we're facing right now, which is a small cavalry force. These guys level up from last battle. Oh, they're all like level 3 counter battery already, basically. So it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a lull here, so I'll be back. Alrighty, it's 1700 day 1. I did send my men out to capture. I did see off 3 more batteries. I sent my men out to capture the guns, and this skirmishing unit's kind of glitched out on me. So we have Martin coming up, 3rd Virginia, Army of the Peninsula. JDL, Army of the Peninsula. Yeah, these guys are glitched out. These were 12-pound iron Napoleons. They didn't even make contact with them, so they're glitched out. I also did manage to bring back some 6-pounders. I think some 24s. Where did I put them? There they are. Yep, the 24-pound howitzer, so having the extra artillery on the line will be helpful when their infantry comes up. So, basically, the Department of Norfolk's out of this battle. We saw both their cavalry brigades and their 3 artillery batteries, which were the Norfolk Light Artillery, the Portsmouth Artillery, and the Fauquier Artillery. And I think these 2 cavalry brigades and maybe some artillery are all that are left of the Army of the Peninsula, because that was another low-strength corps. So Department of Norfolk had 2,500 cavalry, 200 artillery. I've taken out their batteries. So they took 600 casualties in the cavalry, so they're below 2,000 strength on the cavalry. Now we're looking at Army of the Peninsula. Yep, 1,800 cavalry, 200 artillerymen. So once we remove their cavalry, and if their artillery comes up unsupported also, like Norfolk's did, that corps will effectively be a dead fighting force. They're in range. Shoot them. Please. There you go. Here comes their artillery now, the Montague artillery. At least one battery's coming up. So this will probably be it before we lose daylight. Unless another one, a smaller corps, comes up. I think they're basically road jammed at the start of the map. These guys must have mixed cavalry weapons. They're not even firing. Hopefully this glitch will sort itself on day 2. What's that brigade? 150 casualties. There we go. Hitting the limber button and got him loose. Alright. Come back to the lines. Gonna lose them. Alright. I think things will settle into a lull again until count the battery down these guys and artillery out this brigade. So I'll be back. Alright, it's 1800 and we have our first infantry brigade coming up on us, and they're kind of spread out a little bit here. Visual glitches, they're coming up the road. We have Sheffield's brigade of Gist's Corps. Looks like they went out and got this battery I wasn't able to grab up. So it's 1850. We're losing daylight. I don't see this turning into much. We do have them up to 1,100 casualties right now, almost 1,200. The last battery to come up, we did see off, and they actually retreated through my lines into one of my infantry brigades and surrendered, or at least disintegrated. Yeah, they did not surrender in their entirety, so they basically disintegrated. Because we got the whole battery, should have shown them as being whipped out, but it does not. So here's some more dust trails. Not getting a sound though, so I don't know who it is. But I think that's it until we have dawn hit us. But if they do make another attempt, I will be back before day 2, but this will probably be day 2 start. Alright, so 1900, and their morale is not good. We got Senior's Brigade retreating at us. They haven't even been in contact yet. They just came running down the road here. So I'm hoping they retreat through one of our brigades. Now maybe I can grab some of them up. But chasing cavalry with infantry since the update's just kind of out of the... Chasing infantry with the cavalry just kind of out of question since the update. They move a lot faster than the cavalry do. It looks like they're going to retreat right through our brigades. So we'll be able to grab up some prisoners that way. Looks like some of this cavalry's reformed. Yep, North Carolina. JDL, they're all starting to reform. They're not going to retreat through us. Oh well. I don't know why my artillery division's not shooting at that battery. They should all be shooting at these guys. You just give them a face and command will fix things. Yes, no, maybe so. Nope. Alright. Don't know why they're not, but it is what it is. Here comes the cavalry again. Oh, now my artillery division's firing. All right. You guys charging the guns. Stay there, take another mouthful of canister. Stay. Come on, stay a little longer. Just a few seconds longer. There we go. Let's keep upping those casualties on them. Brown's Brigade's broken. Bragg's Corps. Their morale is not good at all. Their morale's at 44.9. They really shouldn't be breaking like this, but they are. I was hoping for this epic battle, but it's not looking like we're going to have that. Yeah, these guys are ready to break as they're coming up. Tucker's Battery and Sears Battery, Gist Corps. I was really hoping for this epic battle. It doesn't look like we're going to get it unless their morale comes up overnight. It's not looking too hot. And these guys set up right outside of our range. That's fine. Or are they in range? No, right outside of my range, fan, but we might still hit them. Just the amount of artillery fire they're receiving should see these boys off. We got them at 1% casualties at 1,400 men. I'm not going to hold you guys here. Looks like the day's going to end in about 30 minutes, so once again, I'll be back. Welcome to day 2. So, none of these units were here overnight. Looks like the rebels are stacking up for assault right off the start of things. Got the Orphan Brigade, Nichols Battery. That's a detachment. Sweats Battery. 2nd North Carolina, who we've already seen off, so they're not going to hang around long. Portsmouth Artillery came back, but they won't hang around long. They already have 50 casualties. No green. So, yeah, we've broken some of these already. The infantry's fresh. No, I'm not worried about it. So, the rebels did get their morale back up overnight. They are at 53.9 to our 43.3. So, our morale did not rise overnight, sadly. We're sitting at 400 casualties. It did take some deserters overnight. And because I only got 29,446 men on the field, 401 men is 1.4% of my force. The rebels have taken 3,500 casualties, and that's only 2.5% of their force. 8th Corps is not arriving for another 15 hours. So hopefully we can make it through the day. So, play here. Also, I did move the engineers closer, and I did bring the cavalry division over. So we can plug any holes if they form. Alabama, Army of Alabama, Army of Alabama. So it looks like they just broke forward with one corps on top of the corps that were already forward. I don't know what it is with the rebels in charge of their cavalry out entrenched soldiers, but they do it a lot, it seems like. There they go. Look at them drop. Ooh. That was some nasty hits right there. They just took 3 shots of canister in their face. troops will get some good experience out of the day. And all the cavalry's already getting ready to break. That's because they all broke yesterday. So why the AI front-loaded them onto an attack is beyond me. Brigade. They already took 400 casualties. Rucker's at 200. 12th House at 39. They fell back out of rifle range. It looks like we've seen off their first assault of the morning. Another horse artillery Sears battery. There's the dust trails. So I don't mind them going up this way as long as they're using this track here. If they start using this road, we're going to have some issues. It looks like they're just trying to shove everybody up this way, which is kind of odd. Trying to use these two farm tracks. You got this nice open road over here they could be using, but then again, that's also a killing field over this way. There's a better killing field for me over here than it is over there, because this is all sloping ground coming towards my men. Alright, looks like we're going to have another lull in the fighting until this infantry brigade gets up here. So, yeah, just a bunch of counter battery fire, so I'll be back once the next assault starts. Alrighty, it's 9 a.m. and I haven't seen much from the rebels. Some of the units that we saw off are starting to reform. Looks like the cavalry's coming back again. I think the big issue, Sheffield's brigade, we've seen them off once already, is back here. I think the AI is roadblocked on this, these stone fences here. It's trying to shove all of its, because it only had the one entry point, it's trying to shove all of its troops down this road across the ford and then past these two stone fences here. So their forces are coming up very, very piecemeal. Here comes a JDL again. See how much damage we can do to them. Hard hits right there. Anybody's wondering what today's battle brew is? It's the Aberfeldy. Do have a few new bottles I have to open up that I got as gifts over the holidays. Trying to hold off until I finish what I got opened already. Someone did give me a bottle of Highland Park, which I haven't tried before, so I'm looking forward to that. And this was worried about. See, that cavalry glitch seems to happen when the cavalry dismounts and the cavalry retreats away, but the horses stay behind and cause a lot of issues. But we've been doing a lot of damage to this force already. We have them at 5,500 casualties already, and it's 9 a.m. day 2 to our 526. That number's going to grow with this little firing competition here. Ooh, damn, that was a hard hit. Riding face first into a 3-star close support battery, not a good idea. So I don't know why they keep sending the cavalry forward like this, but it's suicidal. I don't know why they're doing it. 2nd North Carolina is down by half their men. South Carolina militia. Who are you part of? Gist Corps. Doesn't show a divisional attachment, so he must be directly under the Corps commander. Here goes 2nd North Carolina. Virginia's come back up again. JDL is broken. Will you leave with your horses this time? Is that glitch done? Nope. Maybe. Yeah, looks like it. We're not getting that glitch this time. What the hell's up with your facing? Virginia. How much damage did we get done to them? They're down by half strength. Adams has just been taking a lot of artillery fire because his troops is standing there. Oh, here we go. Sheffield's brigade, we already had dealt with him. Doesn't look like anybody new has shown up yet. Wright's brigade, Manigault. Yeah, no one new is showing up yet. Like I said, I think everything's roadblocked here and at the ford. So, oh, here we go. Somebody new. Holcomb Legion Cavalry from Gist Corps. Looks like they might be the only troops on this road. I can hear marching soldiers, but that could also be sound glitch from back over this way. And these guys are marching forward on their own at entrenchments. Really? They're probably pathfinding on the road, but that's just a bad idea. See if they come in range of the 7th Ohio here. They use some experience points. Ah. You never get to go the way you really wanted to. And just sending off a detachment to grab some of those guns. A little bit closer, come on. Alright, Tyler, you can open fire any second now. Ah. Really? They're in your range fan, you can see them. There we go. And away they run. 200 casualties. Oh no, fall back to the entrenchments. Don't chase them. Well, I think that's the fastest response I've ever gotten out of a unit. Guess I even thought better of leaving the entrenchments. There they go. Alright, looks like we're at another lull here. So, I'll be back. So it's 11 a.m. The AI is still not really come up. It looks like they might have sorted out the roadblock a little bit. We do have some additional brigades showing up. 7th Virginia, I think it's the Cavalry. What's the Infantry? Hughes Brigade. Bragg's Corps. Okay, these guys came in broken yesterday, so they already have casualties. And we do have 2 brigades of cavalry that did show up my left flank. They're trying to come through, and they broke. Oh, one broke, one didn't. So 2nd Virginia is still coming on. 11th Virginia broke. So I just sent my cavalry division over to meet them, and I got 2 brigades armed with Maynard carbines and 1 brigade with Sharps carbines. So we'll easily see off whatever comes this way, unless it's an infantry force. More dust trails back there. I think it might be old cavalry division. But so far, it's been very heavily in our favor. Because you have all these separate... Once again, this is a matter of them having all these separate corps without the Army commander being on the field. Because 3 of the biggest corps all belong to the Army of Northern Virginia, but the Army commander's not here. So all these corps commanders are doing their own thing. And that's why you're seeing these piecemeal attacks from a separate corps. And it looks like we might actually roll into a day 3, because they still have they got plenty of bodies to throw at me. We do have their morale down to 37.9 to our 43. Our morale has not been affected at all throughout the day. We're sitting at 572 casualties to their 7,000. And 377 have fled the field, so 1 brigade ran away. One of the cavalry brigades left. So, but 7,000 men, that's only 5% of their force that's casualties right now. Whereas 573 for me is almost 2% of my force. Yeah. Once I get this roadblock worked out, we should start seeing a better combat. As it is, it's just brigades that we've already broken, reform, come back again, break them again, reform. So they're just taking unnecessary casualties. The AI would just mass back in the woods for an attack. They could probably force me off, but they're not doing that. Yep, there's more cavalry. 12th Virginia. Hopefully the 11th doesn't reform behind me. 12th Virginia, who's this? 6th Virginia. Alright, 2nd West Virginia, you got the Sharps. So I'm going to have you come up here on the fence line along the road. Intercept those boys. And these 2 brigades can remain to take on 2nd Virginia while they're stuck in the swamp. Right now, the majority of forces still look to be coming down this road. So it looks like just the cavalry searching for my flank. If you can hear those marching soldiers, that's a sound glitch at this point, which is not helping me locate the rest of their forces. Yep, all those brigades are already broken. So, just an update there. I'll be back. Alright, it's 12 o'clock. And it looks like they're trying to mount the single brigade attack again with the Orphan Brigade. We've already seen it off, I think, twice, so their morale cannot be good. And 10th Arkansas is about to retreat right through my lines, so maybe we can capture that brigade in its entirety, but I doubt it. The cavalry brigades that they were sending through the swamp, 1 broke already. 2nd Virginia looks like it's getting ready to break because they're just stuck out here in the swamps, which means 12th Virginia probably isn't going to do much better. They still have the 1 brigade, 6th Virginia, coming around along the road, but I do have the 2nd West Virginia with Sharps carbines waiting for them on top of the hill. So that's not a good idea on their part. And if they avoid that road and try to continue riding around, I'll just send the 2nd West Virginia after them on horseback. And 10th Arkansas got away. Shows only 25 casualties. That's BS. There goes the Orphan Brigade. Now comes Manigault's Brigade. This battle is not the big, exciting Rochambeau I was hoping it was going to be. It's really, really disappointing. Where all those troops of rebels have massed up, the AI has not been able to effectively bring them together. But once again, that just goes to them being separate corps from separate armies, so they don't have, even though Beauregard's in charge of everything, he's really not. You got one brigade coming up this road here from Holcomb's Legion. Gist Corps. So Gist Corps is on 2 separate roads. And they'll probably fall under artillery fire before they even make it to my lines. And 12th Arkansas is retreating towards me. So my artillery has basically done the majority of the work for this battle. And they are having the effect on morale that they are intended to have. So we now have them at 8,000 casualties to our just under 600. We are taking some counter battery fire from. They keep sending out detachments, which are firing better counter battery than I think they should be. But yeah, I gets to cheat a little bit. We don't. So, I'll be back if anything meaningful happens. So it's 13-16 right now. And looks like the AI's got a lot of artillery coming up. We got a bunch of fresh artillery coming up that I guess was stuck back at that roadblock, but I'm not worried about it at all. That's my counter battery fire has been seeing these units off fairly quickly. As soon as they come under fire, they're starting to take casualties. It looks like the rest of the Holcomb Legions. Yeah, look at this. They're all glitched out. But we got 2 brigades from the Holcomb Legion coming up this road. Their cavalry and artillery was up on this road. And it's taking hours for these guys to march up this road. And the cavalry out on my left is still stuck in the swamp. They've made basically no headway. 6th Virginia, instead of continuing down the road, did cut around the edge of the swamp, but then I just moved my 2nd West Virginia down to meet them. So if they just ride up the hill a little further, they'll get knocked out by Sharp's carbines. Their morale's probably not that good either, as the rest of their division's breaking. So, we're at 611 casualties from a little bit of artillery fire they have been throwing at us. There was one small exchange of musketry, but that's not much. We got them at 9,500 casualties, almost 7% of their force. So, and their morale is breaking. They are down to 29.2 on morale. We're still sitting at 43. So, unless the AI does something like stops moving their troops at me and consolidates, it's just going to be a long, drawn-out, piecemeal shoot-down. So, I'll be back. 1346, my cavalry is finally, they're just riding straight up the hill at this brigade, which, I don't know what the AI is doing in this battle. These guys probably have mixed cavalry weapons, so they do have to get in close, but they're riding out a brigade armed with Sharp's carbines. Dismounting the fight. They're already over 100 casualties, so they're not going to stand long. 2nd Virginia looks like she's ready to break. And it looks like they're finally changing course in the swamp. Now they're actually moving with some speed, where they've been moving slow-mo for the last 3 hours in game. The I guess they finally just noticed these 2 cavalry brigades here. I don't know. They're starting to withdraw. Don't look like it. And we got the 2 brigades from the Holcomb Legion down here. Infantry brigade I have not seen yet. So we got the 1st, the 3rd, 3rd of the 3rd. I haven't seen 2nd and the 3rd yet. They got to be here somewhere. South Carolina Reserve Brigade. So there's a brigade from that legion that I can't see. But they're making a piece. These guys are coming on all on their lonesome, marching right at the Indiana Brigade, taking flanking artillery fire from West Virginia batteries. Oh, there's no way you guys have me outranged. No way. That's enough, girl. You'll see what my pity wants, and we'll let this play out a little bit. Alright, sorry about that. I was on the back side of the hill, that's why. That's how they had me ranged. I didn't notice that when I built those works. I'm building them too far forward. Let my... Oh, are they withdrawing? Looks like they're withdrawing. Yep, looks like they're going. They are leaving. Alright, we'll let them go. Let's speed this along a little bit. This my artillery got a lot of experience out of this battle. Oh, we got them at 12,000 casualties. Less than 9% of their force, but still. I'm not even going to bother chasing with the cavalry. It's on the last few battles. There's just no point. The infantry can outrun the cavalry. Hopefully they fix it with the next update. What a disappointing battle. That's all I really got to say. And there they go. Let's move that along. All right. Holy crap, they had 450 guns on the battlefield? Whoa. Well, I feel like this battle was a waste of good scotch. But, casualties speak for themselves because they fed themselves to us piecemeal. We took down 8,000 of their 114,000 infantry, 3,500 of their 18,000 cavalry. You got 250 to 450 guns. Total 12,000 of their 138,000 man force. We lost 597 of our 50,640 infantry, 119 of our 6,200 cavalry, 4 of our 231 guns, for a total loss of 747 men out of 60,264. So 747 men for 12,000. What are those casualty odds? Hold on a second here. I'm just sitting here thinking about that. That's just... wow. $16-to-1 odds on the casualties. I just had to break out the calculator real fast. That's 16-to-1 odds. Wow. General Ord, I'm going to have to meme out your eyes with some blue lasers, I think. Alright, let's take a look at the paperwork. You know, before we do that, let's save this so we don't crash on the exiting out screen. Combat report. I really thought I was going to need 8th Corps for this fight, but, well, until the hopefully after the winter, usually when you go into 63, things start getting better. But once again, like, you had 3 Corps from the Army Northern Virginia on the field without the Army Commander. The Army Commander for the Army Northern Virginia, and I don't even know who that is. So I still haven't seen the field command yet on the field, so I don't even know who's in charge of that army. They won't act in an effective way. All right, Cavalry Division. Just 2nd West Virginia fought, and they caused 244 casualties fighting on that hillside to that one brigade. 4th Division. 12th Ohio did 171 infantry. 21st did no firing. 2nd Kentucky did 40 to cavalry. 1st Ohio Artillery Battery A did 199 to infantry, 25 to cavalry, 38 to artillery for a total of 263. Division total 474. All the casualties that you're going to see are mostly going to come out of the artillery division. 1st Division. West Virginia Brigade didn't fight. 1st Brigade didn't fight. Gibraltar Brigade didn't fight. West Virginia Light Artillery Battery B, 94 to infantry, 48 to cavalry, 7 to artillery for a total of 149. The only unit in that division that got anything in. 3rd Division. 2nd Brigade, 1 to infantry, 78 taken prisoner. That's something that I didn't bring you guys back in for. Every time one of their units broke, they basically retreated at my lines. So every time they would like touch my lines and then back away again, retreat in the other direction. So I grabbed a few prisoners every time they did that. So they did 129 to cavalry, 16 to artillery. Probably one of the brigades I sent skirmishers out from. Total of 224. 3rd Brigade, 266 casualties to infantry, 206 to cavalry, 8 to artillery for a total of 480. 1st Brigade, 147 to infantry, 131 captured. 761 casualties to cavalry, 31 to artillery, another 126 captured, for a total of 1,196. McCook's detachment, they had captured one of those sets of guns, so they did 161 to infantry, 77 to cavalry, 11 to artillery, for a total of 249. 1st Ohio Independent Artillery Battery did 712 to infantry, 534 to cavalry, 177 to artillery, for a total of 1,428 for that battery. Wow. Division total 3,577. Alright, 2nd Division. 11th Ohio Infantry took 58 prisoners. 7th Ohio caused 108 infantry casualties, 12 prisoners, 70 to cavalry, 49 artillery, a total of 239. 3rd Brigade did nothing. Tyler's detachment, another one of the captured gun batteries. 41 to infantry, 22 to cavalry, 26 to artillery for a total of 91. 12th Ohio Independent Artillery, 277 infantry, 175 to cavalry, 92 to artillery for a total of 546. Division total 934. Still can't get over 3rd Division. That one battery, jeez. But that's the battery that everybody kept charging into the face of, and their 3-star close support battery. Artillery Division. Battery C, D, and B, F, and E of the 1st Michigan Light Artillery. So it gets Charlie batteries on top. Did 1,438 to infantry, 37 to cavalry, 88 to artillery for a total of 1,572. Damn. Wow. Now, battery D, 328 to infantry, 89 to cavalry, 136 to artillery for a total of 563. Battery B, 357 to infantry, 80 to cavalry, 95 to artillery for a total of 542. Battery F, 500 infantry, 88 to cavalry, 102 to artillery, total 701. Battery E I had out on the right flank as the one counter battery looking down that road where they really didn't get much in. So they did 56 to infantry, 5 to cavalry, 17 to artillery for a total of 81. Division total is 3,459. And that's all with 10-pound parrots. They did all that damage. Usually parrots don't crank out that type of damage. Alright, let's get closed out of here. Don't crash on me, please. Don't crash. Well, I guess once I know I sound like a broken record, and I think I say that a lot in every video. That was such a disappointing fight. I was hoping for this major clash of arms, especially with all the soldiers the rebels were bringing to the field, and so disappointing. But once again, like I said, it was what? They had 9 corps on the field, but no army commander for those corps. 5 of those corps from the Army of Northern Virginia without the Army of Northern Virginia commander, which is a big issue. Like, those 5 corps alone, those are all the biggest corps. If the commander of the Army of Northern Virginia had been on the field, those 5 corps would have acted in synchronization with each other. But because you have all these separate corps with separate commanders and no unified command structure, this battle is what you get because of that. Alright, battle wheeling has ended with Beauregard's Corps retreating in panic. Now, not only Beauregard's Corps, let's go through the list here. We got Beauregard's Corps, Army of Northern Virginia. Gist's Corps, Army of Northern Virginia. Bragg's Corps, Army of Northern Virginia. J.W. Porter's Corps, Army of Northern Virginia. Polk's Corps, Army of Northern Virginia. Department of Norfolk, Army of the Peninsula, Army of the Alabama, and Army of the Shenandoah, all retreating. Rebels brought 9 corps to the field and could not utilize them. This should have been such an epic fight. The last battle was better. And mostly because I tried doing something foolhardy and wasn't able to pull it off. I'm still pissed I couldn't pull off that flank attack, to be honest with you. It's still stuck in my head all these days later. So the enemies reportedly suffered total casualties of 12,413 men. Thereof 3,370 killed, 1,866 captured. Our casualties total 747 men, with 107 killed, 281 missing, and the rest wounded. We've captured 4,616 rifles and 78 guns from the battlefield, and 1,595 men have been sent off to our prison camps. So we're not taking as many prisoners as we normally do. I don't know if you heard that. That was a pretty loud peal of thunder just outside my window. Alright, let's get this rolled off. I don't think we're going to see another combat for the month of September. I was so worried about getting 8th Corps into the region that was just unnecessary. And we just popped on Industrialization 3. So, as discussed in last episode, I will be taking print notes. I really don't want to. I think it's the first time I've ever taken it. But that extra $60 million a year will help. Alright, come on, roll off. There we go. Go away, boys. Go away. Go back down south where you belong. Alright, 8th Corps, move you back to Marietta. There was no reason to move them up there at all. Ugh. Let's take you guys off defensive. So 6th Corps is in Winchester. Maybe we can get a fight here in Winchester. No. But it always seems like when you're in West Virginia and you don't take, when you're in Western Virginia and you don't go to take West Virginia, you just leave a corps in Wheeling like I am now. I'm saying this because I've seen this in previous campaigns. They just arrow in on Wheeling. If you have nobody in Wheeling, but you have somebody in Winchester, they're arrow in on Winchester. And North Virginia is basically clear right now. You have Army Northern Virginia headquarters and Smith's Corps, 14,000 men. Which, can't even tell if it's formed yet or not. I mean, you're talking an army with 154,000 men, but the army commander stayed here while all of his corps went and fought over here. But we're not going to capitalize on that. It's too late in the season. And distracted me from my main campaign objective. Who's that? First Corps, okay. Alright, Second Corps in Jacksonville. So I do believe, unless this corps from Van Dorn's corps comes out to play, we'll let these guys sit for the winter. Actually, what we're going to do is have you build a depot. Hopefully not another waste of money. That should supply both corps from that area. And we'll let them winter there. How's this siege going? Almost over. Hoping to be over by now because I want them in New Orleans for the winter. Let's speed this along. I'm going to try and get this running to the end of the month. Because I don't think anything else will happen before then. So I'll be back. You know, I said it was going to be quiet for the rest of the month, but look who's coming back again. So it's September 25th. I was really hoping to make it to the end of the month and have Fort Pike at this point, but the siege is kind of stalemate. It's moved a little more in our favor. But I needed this battle over. But we're almost there. Our power balance is 96-4. So this is almost over. We're out of ammunition though. We're down to 15% rifle ammunition, 5% artillery ammunition. So I need this fort taken. And where is the engineer corps? They have finally arrived on station. Get over here to Cedar Key, and I'll have them start building a fortification there. Maybe we can draw Van Dorn back in their direction. I want to knock his corps out and have it retreat north, because they don't control anything down here except for that port, so I don't want them retreating back to it again. So we're going to have to take Fort Brooke at some point. And they finished building that supply depot. And that one's almost finished. Everybody's out of food. Once this depot is built, we should be able to supply both these corps from that depot, hopefully. I don't want to build another one. It's too expensive. I don't think we've cut any bonds this month at all. Which will be the first time in a few months. No, we did issue a bond. Damn. We did issue one. I didn't see that. Alright, so it looks like next episode will be excuse me, will be 6th Wheeling. And hopefully the fall of Fort Pike and the capture of New Orleans. And then we'll move into winter quarters. So, once again, if you're a new viewer, returning viewer, you're not yet subscribed, please think about hitting that subscribe button. If you do, remember to hit that bell icon so you alert when the next video comes out. If you like a brigade in my armies, please let me know in the comments below. Type of unit, state it's from, weapons, uniforms, and I'll oblige you on all counts if possible. And comments, as always, please do keep them coming. You guys interacting with me makes this so much more worthwhile. And I will see you all at the next episode. Stay grumpy.